What do you think about Valentine's Day? The eye
I
roll says it all. I'm Steve Chivers for Raccoon TV, and it's time for Talk to Me LA. We went to the world famous Hollywood Boulevard outside the light rail station where we talked to Inez. Okay, tell me your first name.
My name is Inez.
Inez, and where are you from LA?
No, I'm from New York City.
How long you been out here?
2 years.
Okay, so what do you think about Valentine's Day? The eye
I-
roll says it all.
I think it's overrated.
Right, okay, how so?
I don't know. I think it's really cheesy. I mean, for people who are pretty disconnected, I think it's I guess, a cool time for them to reconnect just on one day, or someone to profess their love to somebody. I mean, it should be happening every single day.
That's a good point. And do you think that it's kind of a scam and that like a restaurant, like the day before Valentine's Day, it's $25 and then suddenly Valentine's Day, it's like $75?
Absolutely. Yes. I think it's a scam. And I think, like, after Christmas, you see Valentine's Day stuff all over the place. I mean, they start getting you from then. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a scam.
Have you ever had like someone do something wonderful for you on Valentine's Day?
Of course I have.
Like what was the best?
I think surprising me with the little things, that I really, really love, just back to back all at once, was a little overwhelming. It was really cute and extremely thoughtful. But the person that I was with, he did that all the time. It was just like in abundance. It just came in abundance. But I'm not with the whole like take me to a fancy restaurant or anything like that. I don't really care for that.
So it's like actual things that mean something, right? Like that
Yes.
actually require some work.
Yes.
Okay. So, and do you still feel like it's up to a guy in a relationship to do that, or do you think it should be both ways?
Absolutely not. I think it's a two-way street. I think women get off easy, and in a relationship, it takes two people, and it's definitely not one-sided. No,
So, would you like? Are you single now? Are you seeing anybody?
I'm single.
So, if you were in a relationship, like, would you encourage somebody, like, try and guide them, like, this is what I like for Valentine's Day? Like, don't do some like fancy, expensive chocolate cliche thing.
No, I think it depends on the person who I'm dating. I'm just gonna allow them to be them, you know. And I think whatever they decide to do for me, I'm still gonna be appreciative of it. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, speaking of dating, I just heard like these new terms, like fleabagged. Do you know what that means? Fleabagging.
No.
It doesn't mean I know it sounds like something really nasty, but it's actually, the show Fleabag. Have you heard of
No.
it? Okay, so it's a show on Amazon about this woman who always picks the wrong guy. So fleabagging is when you consistently pick the wrong person. So would you say you're a fleabagger, or you picked the right person?
No, absolutely not. I pick really good people to involve myself with. Yes.
How do you know, like, early on, like how, when you're maybe first date, second date, how do you get the vibe that like, okay, might be okay and there's something worth pursuing?
If none of my red flags go off,
What are your red flags?
crazy eyes. There's a couple things. Them talking about their ex relationships, post traumatic stress disorder, them going on and on ranting about the type of women they don't like. You have people who, talk about their childhood past, so it's just, if I don't kind of get a whiff of like craziness, then they make it to round two. Oh, and they keep their hands to themselves and they're gentlemen.
Okay, but that's interesting too about the like, childhood stuff and all that, because like, don't be honking when I'm doing an interview.
Hello.
Okay, so like, at a certain point you do want to know about that stuff, but do you feel like there's a timeline, like, before you start with the oversharing?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I don't think it should be happening on the first date unless there's a couple things that you need to get out of the way just to kind of give the person a heads up on what's going on, like with you at that moment and the stuff that you're working through. I think that's okay. But I think in due time, when you get to know someone, then you share personal information and personal stuff like that if you're still having to work through those things. But I mean, I don't want to raise a boy into a man, or I don't want to be anybody's therapist either. So, the moment I also kind of get a feel of those things, I'm kind of like,
Like, yeah, go find a
yeah, I
therapist
got
and
stuff going on. I have my own company. I got stuff to do. I'm busy, so I don't have this time to take care of someone. Unfortunately, I don't.
do you feel like it's an LA thing to overshare? Like, do you feel like in general people in LA are just like you've known them for 5 minutes and they're telling you all about their traumas and their dreams and what's been crushed and stuff?
Um, I lived in New York City, Miami, and LA, so I think it's a universal thing. People oversharing, and I think that I not that they're hiding something, but I just feel like it's a lot deeper because if you're quick to discuss like things like that is really private and personal to you, there's a little more to the story than I might not know. But I find LA very flaky when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
There's no sense of consistency here. So you can meet somebody and hit it off and it'd be cool and everything, and the next minute they're like ghosts, they're gone. So I don't know.
Here's another term. Have you ever been glamboozled? Do you know what that is?
I think I have a idea.
It's when you get all dressed up and you're all ready and you're all looking your best, and then they text you like 15 minutes before to cancel.
Hell no. That's never happened to me.
Good.
So far, so far. But if it did, I would still go out. I wouldn't, turn right back around and get out of my little dancing shoes. Like, no, I'm out.
You go out and take
Yes.
yourself out and enjoy yourself.
I'll
That's
meet
good.
someone.
Yeah.
It's lost.
What do you think is the difference between, say, like LA dating and New York dating?
Ooh. Okay. I think New Yorkers are. We're not aggressive, but we're just very straight to the point. So you have pretty much like 30 seconds to a minute to woo somebody in New York City, and we're just very straight to the point. And I think here people are passive aggressive, so you just never know where the conversation is going. They don't seem sure of themselves. I just feel like some people are just faking it till they make it, and then all these smoky mirrors and stuff. So it's just kind of like here, you never know what you're gonna get. But in New York, your word is the only thing that you have, and it's very impactful. So we take that very serious. And here is just the total opposite.
What about Miami? Is that different than both New York and LA?
Miami's a revolving door, of just tons of tourists. And South Beach is this big. So the people that you come across are just there to have a good time.
Okay. So they're not looking for anything long term. They're
No,
like,
it's kind of like Vegas.
mhm. That's another term, TMR, temporary meaningful relationship. It's
Mhm.
like, I'm here for 4 days. We're going to fall in love, cry at the airport, and then, like, okay,
Bye.
bye.
Catch you on my Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What's an ideal mate for you? Like, do you have any qualities, or is it just totally depend on the person?
I think it depends on the person, but there are a couple traits that I love. Yeah, it depends. Depends on the person.
So, Valentine's Day this year, what are you going to do?
I'm probably gonna meet up with my homegirls, and we're probably gonna take each other out and have a really nice dinner and drink some awesome expensive wine, and that's it. Pretty much.
Celebrate being single, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? I'd rather spend the money on my girls.
Yeah, it's
'Cause I
probably a
love 'em.
better investment
Mhm.
because they will be there for you.
Mhm. I love them.
So,
So
what do you do? What you said you have your own company?
I'm a fashion designer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of fashion?
I deconstruct pieces with a Native American moccasin stitch. So at the moment, it's high-end streetwear, and it hasn't crossed over yet. But I'm planning to do a couple collaborations with some brands a little further down the road.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
awesome. That's totally awesome. And so, are you doing it in all three cities?
Yes, yes, but I'm based here, so I can actually go anywhere in the world and do what I do. So it's pretty.
And so, is each item that you make, is each one totally unique?
Yes, it's all one of a kind, and thanks to Holly Berry. She just posted on her Instagram in one of my pieces, so I'm pretty excited about that. And this is the second time doing it, so I'm gonna get there slowly but surely.
So, how did you like? Because so many people dream of what you're doing. Like, oh, I make these cool things and I'll just like sell them, and a celebrity will like. How does that happen?
Well, I was very sure of myself. I've always been in the fashion industry. I knew what I wanted to do, but later in my life, in my 30s, I actually went to college and got my fashion design degree. And I had this company about 12 years ago, so I just revived it. And I realized I outgrew Miami. So it's also about knowing the demographic of people who you want your pieces to touch and kind of go from there, So I decided to take, a leap of faith and come to Los Angeles and get the ball rolling. And so far, it's going pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
So before you cut, just tell me, because I want to like show a picture of your stuff. You said it's on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
It's Nez York City.
NEZ York City?
Yes.
Okay.
Nez
Maybe
York
we can cut to it and show it.
Oh, cool.
All right. Thank you so much. So that was interesting. See you next time.